Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are back at the beach for another episode of the My Mortgage Hound live YouTube stream, having some tech issues. In fact, we have a friend that does not like to stay at our house because she thinks that it is haunted. Go to do my live stream, the internet takes a shit. I don't know what it is. Works perfect all the way up until I hit go live, and then there's a ghost in our house that does not want. All right, how's everyone doing? I have such a cool stream lined up today, so hopefully we can get the internet working here. All right, I think we're good to move forward. Do you guys like my intro? AI is becoming so accessible, even I can figure it out. Okay, I think we're good. So if you guys didn't catch all that, my house is not haunted, but there is a ghost in the internet that likes to shut off the internet right when I go live. But I think we're working now. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at in the world. Today we are back in Long Beach. We're gonna do a Long Beach special. I was gonna do my normal new listings in Southwest Washington, Portland Metro, but I am going to be doing that this Thursday at the EXP office in Vancouver. We're actually going to be at the BIA Center, but it's at their meeting. We're going to surprise everybody, and they don't know this yet, but I'm supposed to be speaking to this group of real estate agents, and we're going to be live streaming live. They don't know it yet. They'll know it right when we go live. Our normal 3 homes, new listings. So make sure to tune in for that. So today we're going to do a beach house special, and I'm glad I'm doing this because I checked out the new listings at the coast, and man, there are some cool ones. It was hard to pick only 3 today. So before we dive into the beach houses, let's talk interest rates. Interest rates this week, lots of drama with the feds and the administration and pressure to lower rates, and the feds standing their ground. I don't say this lightheartedly, and I don't say this very often, but I believe now is the time to buy. It's a great time to buy because the market is soft, right? We're seeing more listings. In fact, let's start there. We're seeing more listings, less activity from the buyers, making it easier to negotiate. You have sellers willing to pay closing costs, buy downs, all sorts of stuff, so you can get a decent deal on a house. And interest rates, for the first time since interest rates jumped up, I feel there's a really good chance we could see interest rates continue to drop. And if they drop significantly fast, what is that going to do to home prices? It's going to shoot them up, right? So we're going to look at some strategies today where we can buy now and refinance later. And so I'm going to show you some tools that we've looked at before, but we're going to go in depth today. Here's our lockbox activity to kind of demonstrate. In Oregon and Washington, lockbox activity is dropped, meaning there's less people looking at houses, which is surprising to me. But every time a real estate agent opens a lockbox on a house, that data is collected, and that's what we're looking at here. In Oregon, it's down 3.8%, in Washington, down 5.6%. Most people that need to be in their new house by the time school starts have done so. So it's not unusual to see that tick down, especially with everyone trying to get in their last minute summer vacations, and school is starting earlier this year, but it is down. Gavin Hutkins every week sends this data over at Berkshire Hathaway. And then look at this. all summer long. New listings, 258, up 14%. Pending sales, that's great. Pending sales are up 17%, but it's also great that we only had 223, meaning that for what, the 12th week in a row, we've added more inventory, more homes to our inventory than we've sold. So this is good news if you are looking to buy, being a little softer market, a little more room to negotiate. And then interest rates, national average, Mortgage News Daily is my go-to for national average on interest rates, 6.63. We're down from 6.81. That's a nice drop. FHA down to 6.22. I would love to continue to see this very slow improvement, like a tenth of a rate a week to really keep the market healthy. But my fear is that sometime in the next 12 months, we're going to see the Feds break with the pressure the administration's putting on, and we may see a radical drop on interest rates, which really makes me think that now could be that magic time to buy. Okay, I think that covers all the housekeeping for today. Good morning, Steelhead. Thanks for tuning in. All right, beach house time. Like I said, I found some dope beach houses. We're going to start south and work our way north. This is a unique property. We're going to 640 Odina Juanita Road in Nassau, Washington. 0 beds, 1 bath, 800 square feet. This home sits on 2 acres, built in 2023. Listed by Deborah. Let's take a quick look where we're at here. So there's Nia Bay, right on the bay. I'm sorry, not Nia Bay, that's the Columbia River on the Nassau. So I lied. I thought this house was in Oregon for some reason. It's in Washington, so we're going to work our way east to west instead of south to north. So no, is this a beach house? No, but it is on a beautiful piece of property. This would be a great vacation home location, especially if you like fishing or just looking for a place to escape. So Deep River. You will not believe these phenomenal Columbia River and territorial views of the Oregon Hills comes with well-appointed custom industrial-inspired studio home. Private gated community is surrounded by privately owned greenbelt. Deer, elk, and other wildlife frequently visit. Enjoy the easy care. Stained concrete floors, ductless HVAC, high vault slant ceilings with transom windows and 2 10-foot roll-up glass doors for true indoor-outdoor living. Large bathhouse, washer and dryer, expansive covered Trex deck, 12 by 20 shed with roll-up and man door, covered parking, prepped for future addition of living space, add a bathroom with ease, RV spot with propane. Okay, let's look at some pictures. How cool. You got the Columbia River there. RV parking, carport. It's not very often that you see a studio house. There's your gated community. But what a cool little retreat, right? And when we look at financing options, I look at a house like this. Anybody watching Ryan Trahan's 50 states in 50 days, where he's staying at the coolest Airbnb he can find in all 50 states in 50 days. I could see this being on his show, right? This would be a great Airbnb listing. Sure, there's lots of exterior views because we are dealing with a studio. So it's kind of like my little man cave, my little bar, right? You got your big roll-up doors, concrete floors. It's like you live in a little garage. You got mini splits. They did a very good job on those floors, not easy to do. I'm guessing the bathroom is in there. Let's see what we have for a kitchen. Pretty simple kitchen. Oh, I've always wanted to do this. I hope we get a better shot at it. I've always wanted to do this with a desk. They're doing it with a countertop. That is an airplane wing. They use an airplane wing to convert it into a countertop. How cool is that? I've always wanted to do it as a desk, but the countertop's cool too. So here's our bathroom. We got a toilet, washer and dryer, and a shower with no enclosure. Cool deck. That's a very cool bronze of a cowboy there. All right, here's our garage. Do we get to go in the garage? Doesn't look like it. There's your floor plan. All right, what do you guys think of this one? Am I nuts? I don't know why my video quality keeps changing here, but am I nuts for thinking this is a cool property? I really think this would make a great short-term rental. Okay, hopefully those stick this time. All right, let's look at some numbers here. 415,000. Now, I'm using what's called a DSCR loan, a debt servicing coverage ratio loan, okay? Because I think this is the perfect property to finance as a short-term rental. This program, in this example, we're doing 25% down. Our purchase price is $415,000. That would make our loan amount $311,000. Interest rates today, the national average we just looked at was 6.61. This program, you're going to pay a little bit more, 6.875. But all I need to qualify is a credit score, my down payment, and an appraisal showing what the projected rents would be. And if my projected rents cover my payment, there's a formula and percentages that have to be met. But if I can cover my payment with those projected rents, that's all I need to qualify. I don't need to show my work history. I don't need to show my tax returns. I don't need to show my checking account, all that stuff to qualify. I don't have to take into account any debts I have or other properties. We're just qualifying based off of, do I have a good credit score, and does the property cash flow, okay? So if we look at a payment breakdown, principal and interest, $2,044. Property tax is only $157, which really makes it attractive to cash flow, right, on a short-term rental. $100 a month for homeowners insurance, that's probably high, for a total payment of $2,301. Our total out-of-pocket expense could be $111,000, which I could see that coming from a 1031 exchange. Let's say we sell off a rental property or two. We want to avoid capital gains and roll those funds over. We can do so with a 1031 exchange into a property like this. Now, this Rabu website is great for showing projected rents on a short-term rental. This website is kind of like a Zillow for buying and selling short-term rentals. This home did not pop up for some reason. It could be because it's a newer listing. But to give you an idea, in Nassau, here's some homes that are similar, okay? So here's one that's not as nice, $329,000. Annual revenue is $44,000. Okay, so if we do some math and we take, let's just call it 45 grand in projected rents divided by 12 months, that's $37.50 a month. So I think conservatively, you could probably, according to Rabu, if you Airbnb this house, I don't think $37.50 is unrealistic, which is more than going to cover our payment. So we're going to qualify. Not only that, we're going to cash flow in this property really well. So that was property number 1 in Nassau. What did you guys think? Am I crazy? I think that would be a super cool short-term rental. In fact, I'm going to show it to a couple people that I know are buying short-term rentals right now. I think that would be a fun escape, and then you can go use it when you want. And Nassau from Portland Metro, what, an hour and 20 minutes? Okay, I know this is a beach house special, and that was a river house. But we're gonna go to our second home. And these next 2 homes, I'm gonna go a little heavy on the financing. So hopefully it isn't too boring, but I think it's really important to understand the tools that are available to home buyers right now in this market to take advantage of a potential rate drop. Okay. We are going to 912 36th Lane in Seaview, which is across the street. I'm in Long Beach, on the border of Long Beach and Seaview. 3 beds, 3 baths, 1,886 square feet. Built in 1977, sitting on a 1/4 acre. This home is listed by, I believe this one is Leslie. Let's see what she has to say. Oceanfront home includes a second 4-acre, 100-foot wide parcel to mean high tide. Okay, so we'll explain this in a second, but beachfront in Long Beach doesn't mean the ocean is just outside your back door. When they put the jetties in, the ocean got pushed way back. So you own from your back door all the way to the high tide, which is why that's 4 acres, because it's a big distance between this house and the ocean. This 3-bedroom, 3-bath is on a separate oversized fence parcel. The private trail runs through the 100-wide separate parcel that is nestled off the main streets of Seaview Historical District. This beautifully maintained home assures you the hunt is over for either full or part-time living as soon as you enter the gate. Thank you, ChatGPT. That's a very, very weird sentence. Soaring wood-clad ceilings on the upper floor resonates the Northwest feel. 2 fireplaces assure warmth during the winter storms and coastal nights, featuring an office, workout room, and 2 oversized garages. Oversized 2-car garage. Offers space for all your needs. Split floor plan offers multi-generational perfection. Okay, not a great description. ChatGPT. At least I hope that was ChatGPT. Okay, let's look at some pictures. If you guys watched last week, we were doing the live stream in here, and we had a rubbernecker walk by and want to come see this little bar we had built. So she got roped into being on the live stream, and she said it perfectly. Look, if I'm buying a beach house, I don't want it to be like my stick-built D.R. Horton normal traditional house at home. I want it to feel like a beach house. Look at this room. You got wood. It looks like maybe cedar paneling on all the walls and the ceiling, vaulted ceilings, surrounded by trees, knowing that just on the other side of those trees, which is your property, is the ocean. Nice big room, big windows. This is built in 77, but it looks like it has a nice big deck on the outside. Well, hopefully we get to see that. Cabinets, nothing wrong here. Easy to update if you wanted. Looks like Formica countertops. You know, it's a beach house. The 70s light fixtures, I like them. Mrs. Steinman would immediately remove those and put in some Pottery Barn ones. But it wouldn't take a lot to update this kitchen if you wanted. The nice thing is you got lots of cabinets. Looks like you have a dishwasher. You do. Nice appliances. I know that sounds silly, but not all the houses at the beach have dishwashers, so it is a nice feature. Okay, here's our back deck. It looks like Trex deck. Nice railing, modern railing, covered. And there you go. So that's all yours down to the ocean. This looks fresh in here. It's interesting, fresh paint, fresh flooring, but original fixtures. Again, just like the kitchen, that tile countertop's fine from that vanity, but it wouldn't take a lot to replace the brass light switch, plate, update the fixtures if you wanted. Even replacing that shower door would be easy. Because here they used, looks like nickel. Does this bother you guys when they replace the doorknobs to nickel to make it look current, but they leave the hinges brass? That drives me bonkers. I don't know about you guys, but replace your hinges. Okay, bedroom number 1. Interesting windows with like shutters that don't fit over the whole window. Very interesting. Okay, here's our primary. Walk-in shower. The toilet and the sink match. Bedroom number 3. Those shutters are really interesting. Okay, bonus room upstairs. Second fireplace, wood burning, awesome. I wonder if you could fit a pool table in there, or maybe some pinball machines, maybe make it a movie room. Guest bath. Sauna. How cool. Utility room. Office. Here's our oversized 2-car garage. Very nice. That is a big garage. Fenced in lot, which is really nice for dogs. Some cool decking there. Interesting. Fun house. There's your path down to the beach, fire pit. Okay, here's our good drone shot. So it's 2 lots. It's the lot that's fenced in, and then 4 acres down to the beach. Imagine having kids at this house and letting them go running around the woods all day, end up at the beach. Okay. Here's what I like about this house. Purchase price $675. That seems very reasonable. And I bet you there's lots of room to negotiate. Okay. Now, even if you're not looking at a beach house, but you're looking at buying a new home, the theme of this, besides being a beach house episode, is how do we take advantage of the market, right? Softer market, lots of indicators that we may see rates drop. We may see them drop significantly. If Trump had his way, rates would drop 2% overnight, okay? For better or worse, that's what he wants. And if that happens, we're gonna see prices shoot back up, potentially. So how do we play this? Well, there's a feature you can add to almost any loan program, and that's called a temporary 2-1 buy down. Well, we're gonna ask the sellers to buy down our interest rate for the first 2 years. So it's still a 30-year fixed, but for the first 2 years, we get a reduced rate. And then we're gonna hope we can catch a refinance between when we buy the house and by the time we get to year 3. So let's walk through this. Purchase price $675 with 20% down. You're looking at a loan amount of $540,000. Today's interest rate, according to Mortgage News Daily, 6.63 is the national average. If we look at a payment breakdown, principal and interest $34.59, property taxes $323 a month, not bad for almost 5 acres. Homeowners insurance around $100 a month for a total payment of $38.82. Now, if we ask the sellers, if we negotiate for them to pay for a 2-1 temporary buy down, this is what it looks like. In the first year, our interest rate drops from 6.63 to 4.63. It drops 2% the first year. Lowering our payment down to $3,200. That's a savings of $681 a month for the first 12 months. In year 2, our interest rate is reduced by 1%, 2-1 buy down, to 5.63, bringing our payment down to $35.33, saving us $350 a month. And then in years 3 through 30, we have our original interest rate at 6.63 and that payment of $38.82. Now, refinancing is never guaranteed. So you want to be sure that you're comfortable with this $38.32 payment. But the thinking here, the strategy is sometime between our payment of $3,200 and $38.82, we catch a refinance. If rates do drop quickly, we come in and drop our rate down somewhere hopefully in the low 5s. So you're taking advantage of the purchase price market now. And then you're taking advantage of the rates when they drop. Marry your house, date your rate, all those cliche sales sayings, right? That's what you're doing here, is you're buying the house now and you're gonna date that interest rate using a teaser rate until rates drop. Cash out of pocket in this example will be $143,000. Now, you can add this temporary buy down to almost any loan program, FHA, VA, 5% down, 3% down. This is just a 20% down example. So, what do you guys think? Pretty cool. I know we talk about temporary buy downs a lot, but I really think that's the tool to use right now. The cost to the sellers. Okay, so if you are going to negotiate this, one, you want to make sure you have a good real estate agent. We have a lot of real estate agent partners on this channel that I can introduce you to if you need a good real estate agent. But the cost of the buy down in this example will be $12,372, which is here, and the seller's paying that here in this contributions line. So that's the negotiation price point. You'd be asking them to kick in 12 grand, which should be very doable in this market. No sellers should bark at asking you to pay for a 2-1 buy down. Okay, we got one more. And then we're gonna cut loose and go enjoy the beach today. Everyone knows I'm a sucker for old historic homes. We're going to Ocean Park, which is on the tip of the peninsula. 26706 Park Avenue. Not in New York, but in Ocean Park. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,800 square feet, built in 1890. Which just happens to be identical to my house. Am I using this as a comp for my house? Yes. Our house was built in 1890 and is 1,800 square feet. This home is listed by Denise O'Neill at Century 21. Short description: welcome to your dream beach cottage. Nestled in a prime location on Park Avenue, this classic vintage beach cottage offers the ideal blend of nostalgic charm and modern comfort. 2 primary master suites, 3.5 bathrooms. Whoa. Is that right? 3.5 bathrooms? It's hard to get more than one bathroom in a home that was built in 1890. Bedroom, office, den, mudroom, laundry room with separate entrance. Beautiful, original, refinished wood fir floors. Propane gas fireplace, completely new kitchen with granite countertops. Sold with extra tax lot. Room to build garage or shop. That was a nice, short and sweet description. Gave us some very important facts on the house. So you can see where Ocean Park is. Here we're in Waco. That first house in Nassau was here. So we started here, ended up in Long Beach, Seaview, and now we're up in Ocean Park. The nice thing about this house is it's on the west side of the highway. In fact, you're on the last street before the beach. Who doesn't love a historic beach house? Okay, nice paint. No driveway, not a big deal. Cool shutters, roof looks good, chimney looks great, cool old trees. Kind of that colonial style. Like the blue front door. I think Mrs. Steinman's going to paint our front door today. Nice big lot. I don't see any neighbors. Okay, cool shiplap wall, shiplap ceiling, nice woodwork. So those are the original 135-year-old floors, fir floors refinished. How sweet. Looks like they redid the fireplace, kind of contemporary. And that's a propane fireplace, I think. I think that's what the description said. That's too bad it's not a wood-burning fireplace. Nice open room, ceiling fan. Now it's not that difficult to put a mini split heat pump in these old homes. I did it to mine. Do you need a heat pump? The air conditioning, not a big deal. Lots of windows in this house. It doesn't get too hot at the beach, but the heat is nice in the winter. Good morning, Nathan. I found a beach house for you. Okay, redone kitchen, new cabinets, ceiling fan in the kitchen, granite countertops, dishwasher, stainless appliances. Nice backsplash of the cabinets. Very nicely done kitchen, farm sink. Okay, so let's count the bathrooms. Count them with me because the description said 3.5. So here's your powder room. I'm going to count that as a half bath. Oh, maybe they're all next. All the bathrooms are next to each other in the pictures. Bathroom number 2, very nice beadboard. Same bathroom, walk-in shower, all tiled up. Very nice. This must be the primary. And I would immediately paint all that wood to match the rest of the house. But a cool bedroom. Bathroom number 3. Very nice. I would just tape off the floors and go crazy with a spray gun in there and just paint everything to match the color downstairs, I think. Bathroom number 3.5. Man, this house feels a lot bigger than 1,800 square feet. Pictures are kind of out of order, so I didn't know exactly where we were at in the house, but there's your lot, very cool. Drone shot, there's the beach, very close. Okay. Same thing here. We're using this, I'm financing this the same way because I want to walk through it again so everyone understands. That home is located in Ocean Park, Nathan. We are doing a beach house special. We started out in Nassau, which is a cool bachelor pad studio house. Then we did one in Seaview, which is right down the street from my house, with 5 acres down to the beach for $600,000 and some change. And now we're in Ocean Park. Now, Nathan, I'm glad you're here because we're talking about how, I don't say this very often, a lot of lenders and real estate agents always say now's a great time to buy, but I think now is the time. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm repeating myself because this is important. The market's soft now. We saw in our statistics in the beginning that lockbox activity is down, which means there's less buyers out there. We've had more houses added to our inventory that have been sold for at least 12 weeks in a row. And we're seeing it in my office, across my desk. We're seeing sellers willing to negotiate. It's not a buyer's market, it's just a healthy market. Homes are priced reasonably. You can come in and negotiate. You can't come in and ask for 20% off, but you can come in and ask for them to pay for your closing costs. You can ask for some credit towards any repairs, and you can ask for maybe a temporary buy down, which is what we're talking about today. Now, there's so much pressure on the administration to the feds for them to lower rates. They kicked back this week and left rates unchanged, which made Trump not very happy. But that's eventually going to break, and the administration is going to get what they want. When is that going to happen? I don't know. Maybe in the next 12 months. And what happens if rates drop dramatically fast? What if we drop 1.5% in the period of a few weeks? I don't care what time of year it is. You're going to see, a lot of people are going to benefit because they're going to be able to refinance. People that have bought in the last 3 years are going to be able to lower their rate and improve their cash flow. But what it means for people buying is we could see runaway pricing with purchase prices. We could see our purchase prices skyrocket. So we could buy now, take advantage of the current market, and then hope for refinance in those first couple years. So $549 on this house, 1,800 square feet, right by the ocean, nicely done, original hardwood floors. I don't think that's crazy, $549 for this house. If we put 20% down, that would make our loan amount $439,000. Interest rate today, according to Mortgage News Daily, 6.63 is our interest rate. Let's look at a quick breakdown. $2,813 for principal and interest. Property taxes at $330 a month. Now, on the listing, the property taxes were like $1,000 a year. There's probably some sort of discount there for whoever's in the property now. I think you're going to be closer to $330 a month. Homeowners insurance, $100 a month. Total payment, $32.43. Now, if we add that loan feature, it's not a loan program, it's a feature you can add to almost any loan out there, called a temporary 2-1 buy down. For the first 12 months, our interest rate is reduced by 2%, bringing it down to 4.63. That's the 2 in a 2-1 buy down. That brings our payment down to $26.89, saving us $555 a month for the first 12 months. And then in year 2, our interest rate is reduced by 1% to 1, down to 5.63, bringing our payment down to $29.59, saving us $284 a month. And then in years 3 through 30, you're at the full 6.63%. At $32.43, this is still a 30-year fix. This doesn't change the loan. It's still a traditional 30-year fixed loan, but you're adding that 2-1 buy down feature to it, and in hopes that interest rates do come down. If they do come down dramatically, let's say you can get into the low 5s, you refinance, and you never see the 6.63%. Now, refinancing is never guaranteed, but all the signs are saying that the administration is going to get their way at some point, right? And rates are going to come down. We do have we rank number 38 in the world for interest rates right now. If you've been watching my series on buying homes abroad in France, I mean, a lot of countries are at 3.5%, 4%. France has lowered their interest rates like 8 or 9 meetings in a row. So we're going to follow suit, and it has been a long time. And home affordability is one of the country's biggest problems right now. Okay, so the way this works is the seller is going to pay for this, so you're going to have to negotiate. $10,000 is the cost of that 2-1 buy down. That should be no problem to negotiate, and have the sellers pay that $10,000 for that temporary buy down, bringing your cash to close in this example to $118,000. But like I said, this is just one example of how to use this with a 20% down. You can add this loan feature, 2-1 buy down, to FHA, VA, 5% down, 3% down, 10% down. And not just on beach houses. I know we're doing a beach house special today, but guys, this is a great tool no matter where you're buying. All right, we covered a lot today. Beach house special. Shout out to Mrs. Steinman, Steelhead, and Nathan for showing up. We broke 100 subscribers. We're now going to 500. Let's see how long it takes us. Hopefully not that long. You guys have a great week. We will be back this week with our daily home of the day every day except for Thursday. We're going to do a live stream at eXp Realty with their office. There's going to be 25 agents there. They don't know we're doing this, but we're going to live stream with them in the room. We're going to look at 3 of their listings. It's going to be fun, and we're going to focus on listings in Clark County. So you guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here next week. Like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Bye.